Most of you aren't struggling because you lack talent or money. You're struggling because you've built a comfort cage and called it a career. Today, we're going to talk about why your biggest problem isn't the economy or your boss. It's the fact that you are literally sabotaging yourself by thinking too small. Pull up and tune in. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets. Let's break that ceiling starting now.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Extraordinaire Moulton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets, everybody. This is world premiere Word on the Streets, and we're so excited to be back with you today. Thank you for the love. Thank you for coming back. Friends, if you drove up and was with us last week, you know we had a very meaty conversation last Thursday. We talked about becoming the CEO of your life and ultimately the CEO of your family. Well, friends, we're going to move that ball just a little farther down the highway because tonight we're talking about breaking the sabotage of small thinking, breaking the glass ceiling, breaking our thoughts, our mind from living in that small place. I mean, breaking free, friends. Wouldn't you like to be free? Wouldn't you like to just experience life on another level? Well, I'm so excited, friends. Today, I am honored to be with two, I think, of the most outstanding people any platform could be fortunate to have. Friends, y'all know this man. He's live on Facebook. This man have a platform on YouTube. The world know him as the Blind Truth. Here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, we know him as the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher. Ladies and gentlemen, show him some love. And ladies and gentlemen, we have this gentleman, man, that come and he bring reasons to chaos. And on top of that, friends, he's just like you. He's working in the corporate world. But you know what he decided to do? He decided that he's going to leave work and come here and share with you his life experience along with the amazing Keith Fletcher and myself. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love, give some love for the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. And ladies and gentlemen, I am extraordinaire. And the three of us, now we're not professional counselors, but what we do, friends, we come on here live. Oftentimes, as Keith Fletcher's so eloquently say, we bear our soul nakedly, sharing with you our life experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if that sounds like a recipe you're attracted to, friends, welcome to the world premiere, Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just drive right down the road, right down the street. We're talking about small thinking and how to get over this small thinking. And I got to be fair with everybody out there. I love both of these gentlemen, love them all. But I'm true blue, and Vincent can relate and respect that. So I have spent a numerous amount of hours talking with the amazing Keith Fletcher. And I'm sure he got some words he want to kick off this program about small thinking and all that is to do with it. Go ahead on, brother. Let's just open the show up and let's get right down to it and with it.
Oh man, you gonna start it with me? Okay.
Why not you? Like they say.
The small thinking. I said, I'm an advocate of that. Starting off, I was a small thinker. I think I was a person that had no. I wanted opportunities, but had no awareness, no understanding. I think small thinking when you have no understanding, and you're not around the right people to give you that understanding. I know we have a mind. I know we have a brain that that the Most High gave us that I can create. Because when you first met the Most High, and I'm not gonna make this a woo woo thing, but when you met when the Most High introduced Himself to the world, He said, "In the beginning, Most High created. God created the heavens and the earth." So that means that He a creator. He told us He was a creator. Then He told us in the light and image of Him. He created us in His image and likeness of Him. So right there told us that we can create. We have a powerful mind that we have. But I think our beliefs, what we have been believing, what we've been told, we bought into it. We bought into some system or some reason or somebody told us that you can't do this, you can't do this. We bought in the environment that we were wrong. We bought in some things that we took in and we believed and we kept it with us. It kept us from us. Instead of realizing that and trying to pour something into ourselves by reading, by thinking, by pondering, just seeking, and to seek something, to question something, you have to question it. I think all those things tied into us keep us small, keep us where we at. They kept me where I was at. Because this is how I am. This is all I know. This is where I'm from. This is what we do. The things that I said, those same things that I was saying kept me right where I was at. Kept me in that same pit. Kept me in that same way of thinking. So what are you pouring into yourself? What are your beliefs? And I promise you, you look at your beliefs, you'll start looking at your behaviors. And the behaviors and the habits and all those things that you're doing that cause you to do wrong, cause you to stay in that position, need to be changed. And we are powerful. We have a powerful brain that we can change. But what to change, you have to put around the right environment, the right people, and you got to be pouring the right thing inside of you. So that's what I would tell you about to improve that small mind.
Go ahead on, Vincent. Vincent, can you hear us?
And my tap that is he on the
His
screen?
mic not
Sorry
on.
about that. I was on mute. I was always an advocate of my late deceased stepfather, who's been gone about 25, 20, 26 years. When I was a little kid, he used to always expose me to different things. For me, I was born in Dallas, but when my mom went to the UT in Austin back in the early 70s, I went during the time, stayed in a neighborhood where there was I was the only black kid at the school other than me and the janitor, right? So for me, I was exposed to different things. To me, I think it's about when people aren't exposed to certain situations and things, uh, it kind of forces them to have small thinking at times because, again, it may not be their fault, right? I was privileged enough to be in certain situations to where I could be exposed to things. And then when I came back to Dallas in the mid 70s because of my asthma, was forced to kind of come back, and then we moved right back right in the hood, right? So for me, it was a culture shock because I wasn't used to that. When I moved to Austin, I was probably about 2, and we came back to Dallas when I was about 6, right? So again, it's hard for people to adjust to certain things when they haven't been exposed to that. My deceased stepfather used to always give me National Geographic magazines, and on it he would send it, and he would come to me, and it would say Dr. Vincent. So he was speaking over me, and he was pouring into me. He was allowing me to see at an early age that I can be more than just what I surround myself with or what I'm surrounded with. It starts when you start to manifest things and you speak things into existence, because we want to talk about God. We are made in his image and in his likeness, but there is power in words, right? It says biblically that our tongue has a power to kill and destroy, right? But then our minds also have the actual ability to visualize. And I'll drop it here. Your feet can't take you. Your feet can't take you where your mind hasn't gone. So for me, my mind had already started at an early age of seeing different things in areas that I had never been to, but it gave me a goal of wanting to travel, wanting to see different countries, wanting to see different animals, right? I was exposed from a visual aspect. There's visual learning and watched traits. So when you start to expose yourself, everyone has a different way of retaining information. But for me, I was exposed to different things in different avenues and all different types, right? I was in a big melting pot. Went to Austin, came back here, moved back in the hood. During the middle school era, I went to an academy. It was mixed. It was probably 25% black, white, Asian kids. Again, I was exposed to different things. Then after that, went to South Oak Cliff, right? So I went back from different areas and different dynamics, but it was the culture that was enriched in me to allow me to think bigger. So
Family, in both of those conversations, and in my conversation, I'm getting ready to share with you, and in whatever document you may pick up and read, there will be a common thread that often go overlooked, not enough emphasis. And and to be perfectly honest with everybody out there listening, it's really where I decided to sort of stick the spear in the ground and said, this is an area that we really need to penetrate more and more and more. And Fletcher, we talk about it all the time. And Vincent, we talk about it all the time on this platform. It's the power of our thoughts. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Now, so often in life, we see things in our mind, friends. However, because of all the distraction, all the noise, and all of those distraction and all of that noise seeps in and it cloud out that vision, that view you saw in your mind. And what happened? What happened? We move from, can I do this? We move from that to it become a doubt. And that doubt grow into fear, hesitation and fear, because we're surrounded with people who didn't get the same vision as you got. They didn't see what you saw. And word on the street community, you have some thoughts You have some ideals and your thoughts and your ideals. You are surrounded by people who don't see your thoughts. They don't see that vision. And because they don't see your vision and they wasn't fed, I just heard Vincent saying what was fed to him. You see, some of us was fed certain things as we were developing through life. And it made the vision in our thought, in our thinking process, it gave us different vision from others who came from different backgrounds, different life experiences. And sometimes envy will cause people because they can't see, man, of that big ideal you sharing with them. They can't see it. So they may plant seeds of doubts, seeds of fear, seeds to make you feel like, oh, you don't want to, you know. And that cracked the thinking that you had, that cracked that vision you once saw in your mind. And we all have experienced that. We all have had some great ideals. And I know I'm going long. We all have had some great ideals, but by the time we come down from those great ideas, share with a few people, we're all out. We don't give it a try. It's flattened out. It have flattened out. And we have allowed ideals to be flattened out and stolen from me over and over and over again. And this is why we're here. This is why world premiere word on the streets. This is why Fletcher, Vincent, and I we are here because we have experienced that too. But we say, hold on, Horace, hold on, y'all. 2026, we're about to rip the bandage off of that small thinking. We're about to take it off, and we're gonna tell you because we too have experienced that. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle. You can say, you can start telling yourself, let me tell y'all a little secret. When you start thinking, can I to how can I, your subconscious mind will go to work in your behalf automatically. It will start trying to find ways to satisfy that. He want to know, how can I do this? How can he do this? How can and it will start working automatically. Then you will find yourself, Fletcher, waking up connecting with people you hadn't connected with before. You'll find yourself listening to things you didn't normally listen to because your subconscious mind will start driving because it really wants to satisfy you. Somebody talk to me out there, and I hope I'm tracking.
Yeah, I'm tracking that word how. That's big for me. But I'm gonna say a little about me. It took me a while to find that word how. I look, and you can look back at your life. I look back at my life. I came from Louisiana. I wouldn't say it was the hood, but the country life. I came with a grandfather, grandmother, uncles, aunties. I had good people around me. I was taught work ethic, how to work. You know what I'm saying? How to do things. But I want to say something about. We always talk about environment. Now, in that environment, things was going on that I could not see. A whole economy was around me, and I didn't even recognize. I didn't know what I was looking. I didn't know. I talked about this lady named Miss Prissy. Miss Prissy had a store. Miss Prissy had the neighborhood store that we all would go to, and you can get things. You know what I'm saying? Candy. She sold milk. She all kind of stuff in the store. Also, Miss Prissy had rent houses. Mr. Benjamin had rent houses. These people, Mr. Eddie had a washing and he had the bus. He could drive the school bus. All these things around, and then people rent. All these things was around me. I had no sight, no vision, didn't have no understanding. And all these people in that neighborhood owned their own house. They had ownership. They had land. Now, I can talk to some people that came up right there with me with that, didn't have that, and would say, man, I came up in a bad time. I came up in the wrong area. I came up around some poor people, you know what I'm saying, around this. Had a church right in the middle of it, you know. But when I left there, I was considered me, I was a fighter. I was considered a bad kid. I used to fight all the time, you know what I'm saying? So when I had to move with my dad to Texas, you know, like you say, when you don't know, you don't know. And I became in that environment. Now, if you came to Louisiana at my time, you know, somebody would look and say, man, y'all live poor out there. You know, I had a single mother that raised me that was a school teacher, and they would say it was poor. You know, we got two pair of shoes. I tell my son I had a good pair of shoes, but three. I had church shoes, a good pair of tennis shoes, and an old pair of tennis shoes that we play around with. You know, money was tight. But when I came to Dallas, I moved with my daddy that had my daddy and my stepmother, and I had a sister that had family was living there. I really seen a whole different way of life. I really started seeing how people live in apartments and they have multiple people living in apartments. I seen like they call latchkey kids. I would have never experienced that till I went to Texas and I started seeing people working two jobs and the kids being home by themselves, raising themselves. We all in the neighborhood raising ourselves, eating at different people's houses. That's when the things I was seeing. But in both of them instances, during my growing up, somebody saw something in me. My godmother, Rena Mae, you know, as a child, said, hey, I'm going to take you. Uncle Larry, and my godfather, so many people, my aunt, but I had a guy named Pop Sam, even in the streets, saw something in me, said, hey, let me, come here, little man, let me get you. I see you this, you that. Come hit these weights. I hit weights today because of him. When I was in Dallas, I had a guy named Chase, saw me with a whole bunch of hooligans, my friends, and we get in trouble, and he called me, said, hey, man, he saw me walking, come here. Why you hang with them, brother? You different than them. What's wrong? You don't belong with them. So I'm saying some things came, people coming our way. So when we say these environments, but around that environment, things was happening. You just were blind. You didn't see all good things was happening around you. You missed it. I missed it. So the things shaped me. I didn't come up and I had to grow up. I didn't come up and I came in that vibe. But when I came out, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I tell Jordan all the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just blowing in the wind. I never picked up a book and looked at that. I never thought about going to New York, to Paris, and travel. I never thought about that. I never knew about that. I just wanted what I had enough to live. I used to ask the Most High for wisdom. For real, my grandfather used to always tell, I want wisdom. That's what I want. Because I don't know what to do with the money. I never did. I never looked at my left and right. I had my own style, my own way. I just wanted wisdom. So, like you said, your mind can't go with your feet. Let your feet, I don't know what Vince said, but when my mind and my feet was going places, I said, hey, I'm going to go here. I started going. And when I got there, my mind had to catch up. My mind had to catch up. And I had other people in mind, like you said, their mind was already knew what they wanted to do. They knew, hey, I'm going to college. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. My feet, hey, I'm just going to college, walking. Hey, I'm going, man, that ain't happening. I got somebody pregnant, my wife pregnant, my girlfriend. Hey, I'm going to the military. I'm just walking. I don't know what I'm walking into. But I'm going to tell you, when I walked into those things, the worlds, I was not ready. I never read about what I need to do. I didn't have nobody to coach me. I had nobody to mentor me. But I walked in both of them worlds, and guys knew what to do in college. They knew who they're going to go with, the teachers, how to early registration. They knew they knew everything because somebody mentored them and showed them. When they went in the military, had people show a mentor. And I get in the military, I got attitude because I don't understand what's going on. And I wonder why people getting ahead of me, why this, and I'm angry. My mind was not ready, but my feet was walking. But somebody always pulled me again. Somebody was there saying, hey, man, I see something in you. I'll pull away from it. Man, you don't know me. Somebody else will say, hey, man, I see something in you. So what I'm saying is, it's opportunities all around us. Are you aware that your mind ready to receive? Are you ready to receive?
Man, I love that.
No, I think for me, it's just sometimes we don't understand stuff when we're younger, and we think there are some challenges and there's some difficulties. But as we get older, we start seeing the alignment that because we all have a purpose in life, right? Sometimes it's bigger than what we can see in front of us at the time, and you have to. Sometimes you got to get out of the circle to see what's in the circle. So when you step out of it and when you're old enough and you have enough knowledge to understand, like there's an old saying, people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And as I started to get older, I've always liked hanging around older people because my mind always thought like that's why I was going to these academy schools, right? I was scoring high on my tests. I was two or three, four grade levels way much farther than anyone else or other kids that's like my age. I was proofreading my mom's college papers when she was doing essays, and she would put that responsibility on me. It was like, hey, proofread my papers, right? So that started me to get an infatuation with reading, paying attention to detail, right? Proofreading. Again, mom didn't really talk a lot about do this, do that. I looked over her shoulder and saw how she balanced the checkbook, how she did the ledger, right? So even though words were not spoken, it's actions that were teaching me. And again, we lived in a society back then. We didn't have a lot of distractions like the kids do right now. The average kid right now is not wanting to see what their parents are doing, this and that. Like you basically almost got to force them to watch you, right? So for me, I learned life to me is like a buffet, right? So I get what I want and I take what I need at that time. Even though I may not eat it, I may put it in my coat pocket and get that breadcrumb later. So for me, as I continue to watch other people that were in places that I wanted to get to. Like I'm not going to ask Warren Buffett how to do a DIY project. If I'm with him, I'm going to get his knowledge and ask him. I can't tell him how to invest. I need to be quiet and listen to him. So for me, when I look at the title, Breaking the Sabotage of Small Thinking, those that say they can, those that say they can't. I think about the movie Star Wars, right? We talk about try. There was a part in there where Yoda was talking to Luke Skywalker, and Luke was trying to use his powers of how do I like I can't do it. I'm trying to lift the thing up with his whatever powers. And then Yoda said in his Yoda voice, "You do not do and try." Right? So he basically was telling people, like instead of saying you're trying, just go ahead and say that you're going to do it. So when I'm speaking to people at work, we talked about CEOs last week, right? And doing it at home and then doing it back at the job and using the things that we learned from corporate and bring it home, having family meetings, having budget meetings, right? Some of the same principles I'm using with my staffs is how do you get them to buy into the big picture and stop thinking so small and just about yourself? Like I get that you're frustrated, but what's the bigger picture here? If we're trying to partner with other departments, like think big, right? Again, I say it again. Your feet can't take you where your mind hasn't been, right? It's about continuing to just kind of better yourself, right? And we all struggle with it, right? We didn't just grow up and just graduate with all of this knowledge, right? Life experiences taught us this. I still suffer with it today at times, right? And I like to put a caveat and say up until now. I've been suffering with it, like up until now. Because to me, I like to break that cycle with a new fresh start. Even though if it happened 5 minutes ago. I got a new car, what, last month. For the longest, I felt guilty about it, right? Well, I don't really need one. Well, the other one was just fine, right? To me, there's parts of sometimes we sabotage ourselves with the small thinking and we punish ourselves because sometimes we do self-sabotage, right? We kill our own blessings, we kill our own visions, right? The mind is powerful. And then had to get out of that poverty mindset of thinking, you know what? I really do deserve this. I really do manage my money well. It's not taking me out. I'm in a good position. So why can't I bless myself? Why can't I reward myself for all the hard work that I've done, right? But sometimes we got to get out of our own way. Sometimes we're our biggest obstacle and don't even know it because we are stuck in the mentality of having a poverty mindset, having people around us that just do negative thinking, right? that are that just continues to just drain us. I'm very protective of my energy, right? There's only so much that I'm going to take. And even from my parent, right? Even from my mom, we're getting to these arguments and stuff. Not arguments, but it's like, okay, I've heard you out. And again, I'm blessed to have her here, right? And I'm just using her as an example. But sometimes you got to limit your energy around certain people because if not, it's going to drain you, especially coming from an introvert that's already drained from being at work 9, 10 hours a day. And I've exerted all my people energy. Now I got to come here and hear it otherwise. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if I can take it. Right. So it's a continual practice day in and day out. Right. Some days you may fail, some days you may just do excellent. So it's the ebbs and flows of it.
Well said. Well said. Friends, before y'all go any farther, make sure that you hit like and subscribe to the world premiere Word on the Streets. If you enjoying any part of this segment, friends, show us some support, show us some love. Subscribe to the world premiere Word on the Streets, and by all means, leave us a comment. We like to take this golden moment right here, right now, and say hello to La Diana and Selena, who are always so faithful in showing up and keeping that chat room lit up. Thank y'all so very much. But as the saying goes, friends, you know, although we talk from our personal experience, we also like to, like they say nowadays, we like to show receipts. So everything that we're talking about, that was a study done in 2006 by Carol, I think her name was Carol Dewick in 2006. And she was saying that people with a fixed mindset, they usually see obstacles, fear, hesitation. And the number one word phrase they use in most situations is, can I? But then someone else, the other group with a growth mindset, they ask, how can I? And the growth mindset, what she discovered in 2006, it sent certain chemical brainwave to the nervous system that tapped into the subconscious mind, which is what I was talking about earlier. And the mind automatically go to work in your behalf. Friends, that is a nugget we all need to catch. Your mind will work in your behalf when you start phrasing words, start thinking things, your thoughts differently than small. And by the way, friends, some of you all out there who may be retired, you got your home, you got your car, you got kids and they pretty good. So you're comfortable. But don't you know comfort is the graveyard? If you look at any plant, any tree, a tree is always reaching to grow as tall and high as it can get. And I so often like using the metaphor of an ivory plant. Any of you all out there know about an ivory plant? They're beautiful. And they would just grow and grow and grow as far as it can.
You got to talk to it.
Talk to me, brother. There you go. Right. So why? So why would we limit ourselves? Fletcher, why do we limit ourselves?
I said, when you don't know, you don't know. You know better, you do better. I want to reinforce what you said about your mind, subconscious mind. My, I talked to my kids, and I got 21-year-old and 17-year-old living with me. I tell them about the power of saying something and moving forward. I tell them one time, me and my ex was going through it and split up, and I had to, leave my house, and I moved to Seattle. I'm going through depression, I'm getting divorced. We about to break up, and I took this job, and I'm feeling sorry. I just take a job. The job is overnight working in a warehouse. I tell this story. It's a glass warehouse. You get glass. I just took the job, 12 hours, 7 in the morning, 7 at night to 7 in the morning. And I get there, I'm working. They showing me what we do. And the glass, you got to go find the glass. You got to put that. They do all kind of, cutting glass, all kind of things. So this guy come to me. He said, "Hey man, we got to move this glass." Now the glass is big. I'm talking about, man, the glass was big. I'm talking about wide and tall. So I look at it, I'm like, so hey, where we gonna get the forklift at to lift it, get that glass? He said, "Forklift? What is a forklift?" Dude, pick the glass up. I say, "Oh my God." He picked it up and took it over there. I say, man, you weak. I say, "Did they pay you extra for that? What? I said, "I don't know." So I'm sitting at the place, so so they teaching you, because the truck go out every so many hours, but you got to find the stuff, get the list, find it, load the truck up manually. So I go in this one area, and the guys over there, they in the AC, they cutting the glass. And I'm looking at them black guys, I'm like, "Man, how you get this job?" He said, "Oh man, you went through a temp sir. You should have came and applied. You could have." So I'm like, "Oh man, I made a mistake." But anyway, I go, I'm working, I see this one guy, he ahead of me. I'm supposed to take over his spot if something happened to him. So I come in one day, and the manager said, "Hey, man, good luck. Boy, got a good news for you." I said, "What's that, man?" He said, "Oh, boy, quit. You up next." I said, "Oh, yeah?" I said, "I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'll be back." I go to get my car, and I drive off, and I go home. My brother say, "Man, what you doing here?" I said, "Man, I quit." He said, "You quit? You just quit a job?" I said, "Listen to me, man. I'm not working like that. I'm going to give me a job. I'm about to be a working computer. I'm about to wear suits. I'm about to be in the office, man. I done made my mind up." And then I'm going back. I'm going back to school. I'm going back to class. I'm not doing that, man. And so I tell my kids, I say, "Now listen, I did that on accident of a trauma." I say, I did everything I did. I tell them all through my life, that's what's my life. I had to make decisions under stress, and it worked out. Every decision I made when I went in the Army, I made it. I did the Army. When I said I'm going to go airborne, aerosol, I did it. Everything that when I said I'm going to go get a computer job, work on computers, and work in the docks, I did it. But it was under duress. I said, now let's do this. Let's say you plan your life. Let's say you sit in and say, "I'm going to do things." Not under
Let's say not wait until you get under.
get it up there, they're making it. Let's just say you sit back and say, "Okay, think about something, visualize something, come up with a plan, come up with a strategy, believe and focus and do all these things, not under pressure, not under duress."
Right.
How far you think?
Right. And Fletcher, let me just ask you that. And when you made that decision, wasn't it, when you look back on it, how things started lining up for you to go in that direction?
Exactly. And things start like, and see, that's the thing right there. I tell them, once I made the decision to take that step, now I didn't know how. I didn't know what, when, but I knew one way. I said, "Hey, I got what I need to do. I need to go." And I remember the first thing, like you said, I met somebody, and this guy was my barber. His name is Fitz to this day. I'm sitting in the chair with him. But let me show you how again, because I didn't plan. I mean, Fitz, he planned. He said, "Hey, man, this IT thing, the internet thing, man, it's about to blow up. I'm going to school, brother. Why don't you go to school too and get this, get that?" I said, "Yeah, man, I've been thinking. I said I'm gonna do it, man, but I got some stuff going on, but I'm gonna do it." Vince he cut my hair. He came, he said, "Man, hey, man, I'm gonna be missing out. You might have to find another barber. Remember, I told you I'm about to go to school, do the internet." I was like, "Oh yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna come in, man. I'm gonna do it." Fast forward, he gone, he missing, he come back. Now my brother was telling me he was sleeping on an air mattress. Real talk. When he come out from under where he was at, you know what I'm saying? He's studying, doing all this stuff, I imagine. He come back, it's not a materialistic thing, but he picked me up. He got a Mercedes, like a Ford long Mercedes Benz. I'm like, he pulled up and down. We like, damn, where you get that from me? And I'm looking at him like, damn, man. He like, man, I told you the internet, man. I got me a job. He telling me the job he got, how much he was making. So a few months go by, he pulled up again and said, where you at? He come out, pick me up. He take him out. He bought a big old house in Colorado. And this area that he in, like you tell, like, and it just, and I'm seeing this. I'm seeing all these things that I said I would do. He did it. He doing it. He ain't just doing it. And I wish my wife. He not just doing it, just had doing it. I'm talking about he doing it so big that it blew. Like I didn't even think about that you can have like the stuff, the thing. And he was taking me along, showing me like, Keith, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. I'll help you. Glad. But extraordinary. My mind. I said, nah, that's for you. That's not for me. Nah, I can't. I'm trying to still doing it. I said it, but I didn't want to do the work. You hear what I said? I said it. So now, did I get there? But look, I tell my kids, look how long it took me to get there. I could have got there right then. I had somebody gonna help me, somebody gonna show me, somebody gonna guide me, gonna bring me along. But I couldn't. I wouldn't read. My mind could not. I could not believe, and I eat to this day. I look at that like I still haven't understood why I trusted him, why I did not connect with me. And it ain't that, people say, well, it wasn't for you, it wasn't the time. It was the time. It was the moment. I missed it. And that's why I say we don't want to miss no opportunities because I missed the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But it caused me to miss that. But I still later on got it. But it was right there. What I said I was going to do, like you said, extraordinary, it came. It was looking for me. When I was looking for it, was looking for me. And when I met it scared the devil out of me. When I ran into it, it said, oh, no.
Right.
And I'm going to show you I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm not on the show. I'm not the person that I was and the person that Fitz was. I remember he called me, he came to Dallas. He said, hey, man, I'm in Dallas. He said, come on, go with me. I go out with him. I forgot the expensive hotel. I forgot where he was downtown Dallas. And I remember I walked into the bar and he was talking to this guy and I'm looking at him and like I said, I hadn't been in this hotel before. And I'm looking like, man. And I remember I walk up and a guy talking and sounded like they was talking Chinese to me. But anyway, he said, order you something off the top shelf, and he pulled out a black card. And I remember when I tasted stuff and then he paid for it, how much the drink was, and it was just a little shot. And he was showing up, but the little shot was like $100-some. I said, man, you paid $100 for that? He like, oh yeah, man. I said, man, what was that we drunk, And he was telling me, but he's sitting there. I went out with him and his other friends, all of them executive, all of them, and I'm sitting there and Fitz, right? Me with a barbershop, he's sitting right there with them, but he's still being Fitz. He still fits in that environment. And I say the Most High showed that to me because I had a problem with me not being me. I was like, man, I don't want to. I want to be me. I would see. I think that's another thing. I didn't want to. That's why I tell people, whoever the person that you are cannot go where the Most High way He's trying to send you. And I kept trying to bring that person and put that person in that box. And me trying to put that person in there kept me from going where I needed to go. That's what I mean.
Brother, keep that fire burning. Vincent, we know you got to run out of here.
I'm sorry for doing too long. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Well, we're going to take a small commercial break. But before we do, Vincent, we know you have some final words you want to share with the world premiere Word on the Street community before you dash out of here.
Yeah, I'll say it pretty quick. Those that fail to plan to fail. We have to be more intentional on growing to get better. We got to start investing in ourselves in order to get better. What we regurgitate and eat comes out. So what you feed the most, that's what grows the most. What you starve the most, that's what dies the most. If you're trying to starve old habits and to get better, you have to feed yourself something new to replace that. Yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to just say off of that. Like we have to understand that what we surround ourselves and again, exposure, right? When you're exposed to different things and you start seeing different things, it starts to open up your mindset. Even if you have the thought process of, I might fail, right? It's okay to think that thought, but just try not to stay there, right? Because we don't know, because 85% of the stuff that we think is an if never comes to fruition, but you miss the shot that you never take. I ended with that.
That's right. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all just heard Vincent Fred working in the corporate world. He got the exit right now. But listen, friends, before we go to our small break, I don't want y'all to leave. We don't want y'all to leave. Don't go anywhere because Fletcher was on fire. And we want that same fire. In fact, that same fire will be back on part two. And I promise you, you don't want to miss it. Fletcher got more stories to tell you, more fire to burn. You don't want to miss part two, friends. So we're going to take a small commercial break. While we do that, why don't you go on and get yourself a cold glass of iced tea, iced coffee, or hot coffee, and pull back up, check out our commercials, and we'll be back less than 5 minutes. Much less.
Every year brings a new wellness trend, but real health has never been a trend. It's built on consistency, quality, and ingredients your body actually knows what to do with. Since 1929, health professionals have trusted one source for that kind of foundation: Standard Process. Catalin isn't a lab-made shortcut. It's a whole food multivitamin crafted from organic ingredients like alfalfa, mushrooms, and nutrient-dense plants, designed to deliver the complex nutrition your body recognizes and uses. If you're tired of quick fixes and ready for something that truly supports your health, start with what stood the test of nearly a century. Tap the link in the description to find Standard Process Catalin on Amazon and take your first step toward better health. Only $17.48 for 90 tablets.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it, because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere word on the streets.
We're halfway through today's session, and I want to pause right here, because I know exactly what's happening in some of your minds. We've been talking about expansion. We've been talking about breaking the ceiling. And for the first 20 minutes, you were on fire. But right about now, that small talk mechanism in the back of your brain is starting to whisper. It's saying, this sounds good for them, but look at your bank account. Look at your history. Look at the size of that goal. See, we quest for answers, but the moment the answer looks bigger than our current comfort zone, we default to the most expensive phrase in the human language: I can't. We treat I can't like it's a permanent fact of nature, like gravity. But I can't is almost always a lie. It's a placeholder for I haven't learned how yet, or I'm afraid of the work required. When you say I can't, you aren't stating a reality. You are signing a contract to stay exactly where you are. You're choosing the cage over the climb. The science tells us that your brain is literally wired to keep you safe, which usually means keeping you small. But safety is the enemy of the significant life. If the thing looks like a giant, it's not because the thing is too big. It's because you're still looking at it through the eyes of a grasshopper. We have to recalibrate. We have to stop measuring our future by our current reach. You have the neural capacity to learn any how on this planet, but you have to stop giving yourself the I can't exit ramp. In this second half of the show, we're going to stop looking at the giants and start looking at the mechanics of the mountain. We're going deep into the studies, the takeaways, and the actual FAQs you need to answer for yourself. If you're still with me, it's because you're ready to stop making excuses and start making a way. Let's get back into it.
All right, family, keep those comments coming as we lock back into breaking the sabotage of small thinking.
All right, friends. All right, family. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And listen, folks, we are on fire. Fletcher was on fire right before that break. And let's hope it's still some smoke over in that corner, friends, because this is a very, very hot subject because we all live in this world today where our thoughts oftentimes limit us. We live in our way, in our thoughts, in our mind, and those thoughts keeps us where we are. And sometimes we find ways to be comfortable where we are as if that's all life has for us. And the only reason why life gives us where we are and where we at is because we don't allow our thoughts to think beyond that. We limit ourselves. And I know Fletcher got more meat to put on that bone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. Come on in here, Fletcher. Talk to me.
The reason I tell my stories, man, you'll meet people that you look and think they got their life together. You'll hear them tell, like I say, me and Strawman tell you, revealing it, being naked on here. I'm giving you all the pots, I'm just throwing everything in the kitchen to you to let you know, because I don't, like I said, I don't want you to think it's too late. It's never too late. You change your thinking.
Man, you could put a pin in it right there because there's so many people, especially retired people, Fletcher. You see them like I see them, and they feel it as if that's it. That's the end of the road. I just might as well just be happy being old and retired. But go ahead on, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good. I'm just saying, like, because people, when you, like I say, when you don't know, you don't know. So I want to let, like I said again, I'm learning even more to be a leader. I'm learning even more to be a teacher. I'm learning more to be a mentor. And to be that, I got to learn how to give the information out so someone can receive it. You know what I'm saying? I got to understand to meet that person where they at, by the things that I say. So I don't want to sit here and act like I know. I know everything. I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, we talk about Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors. Do I want to be Warren Buffett? No. You know what I'm saying? But you might want to be Warren Buffett. Do I want to be a trillionaire? I don't want to be one, but you might want to be one. But again, how do you get that? How do I get, I just said that question, how do I get around the people that go get me where I need to be? To understand that, I was telling someone, I said, man, I am 57, about to be 58. I say, it's still understanding how to purchase a home. I know how to purchase a home, and when I first purchased a home, I just wanted the house. What did I want the house for? Because someone told me you should have a house. I didn't know. I remember my wife was talking, and I say I'm a leader. I told my wife, I said, baby, we got the house the right way. I say, wait, what you mean that we got it the right way? We got a house. I say, if I was to say, look back at it again, I don't think I would have bought a house to build. I would have bought a house lower than this and remodeled and fix it up. I would have bought a fixer-upper, a nice fixer-upper in a nice neighborhood, but the ugliest house in a nice neighborhood. I'd have did that and came out B because I'm thinking another way now. I'm thinking about equity. I'm thinking about how I can get, more money at the end for the house. If I would even kept the house and start a home, to build that home, to take that money and get a bigger house and just keep expanding. Now that I know better, you see what I'm saying? Now that I know, now I can do better. Before, I just wanted a home. Before, I just wanted to say I got a house. My kids can grow up in a house and do that. So these ways, not learning how to do a credit card. Before, I didn't understand about no credit card. I wanted a credit card. I just wanted a credit card just to go buy, to go spend more, to buy more things. I didn't understand. Now that I know what a credit card is for leverage. How can I leverage this in a way to better benefit me, in a way for me to get more money, to get more assets to build with that credit card? How the credit card to help me, not to help the credit, how to help me, how to be more responsible, how to manage these certain things right here. But now, back then it hurt me. I didn't know. But when I said, hey, I got to figure this out. Hey, when I want to buy a house, how can I? Oh, I got to get out of this debt. I got to pay this off. I got to raise my credit. So now, how made me say I got to think smarter? How I want to have nice things. How do I do it? I got to get out of debt. How do I get out of debt? Now I got to. Now all these questions. When you start asking, that means I'm seeking something. I got to seek it. To seek it, I got to ask questions. Now I got to find out information. I can't worry about who I don't like and how they talk. I need the information. How do I get the information to get me where I want to be? Who do I need to be around? Where do I need to go? How I'm going to make these men? What I need to do. So now, who do I need to become? So if I'm somebody, like you say, extraordinary and Vincent, I always say they're introvert. Now, if I'm an introvert, that I don't want to meet people, and the people got the information, what do I do, extraordinary?
I love it because you asking the question that this blog talks about. How you see the thing that moved the needle when you start asking that probing question, how can I? That is a itching question. How can I? And eventually, an introvert person, what they have to do, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Hmm.
That's the key. You see, friends, introvert, it's not a proud Fletcher. This is where so many people miss it because they make the declaration of this who I am. Okay, that's cool who you are.
Hmm.
But to get to where you want to go, you got to move from who you are, where you are, and you got to shift.
Yep.
An introvert got to get out of his comfort zone. It's a new word in the lexicon on the internet. Fletcher's called solopreneur.
Hmm.
Solopreneur, like entrepreneur. Well,
Yeah.
it's solopreneur for those introvert people like myself, like Vincent that Fletcher talked about.
Yeah.
They rather just work alone.
Yeah.
But now, and that work alone is great, but like you just explained so eloquently, let's say it's something I don't know. Now how I'm gonna know it? And that person over there's a group over there's a person over there got what I need. I got to take that solopreneur jacket off and I got to go and fly where they are over there.
Hmm.
You see, friends, it's just like coming on this platform. Fletcher, I admire him, and tell him all the time. I say, man, you go live. You don't. I mean, he don't mind. He's on live. He do YouTube. If y'all only knew how much it takes to do live and go live.
Yeah.
That's not an easy task. And then it's even harder for others of us, like myself. But you still have to take that coat off if you want to get to the other side. If you want to get where you're going, you got to leave the graveyard of the comfort zone. It's uncomfortable moving forward, but that's growth. As I said in one of my YouTube, when a woman is having a baby, it's not comfortable. Giving life is not comfortable. Giving birth to something isn't comfortable. But look what comes from it. Life comes from it. Growth comes from it. Opportunity comes from it. Possibilities come from it. Oh my goodness. You want to stop all of that because And many of us do because we want to stay in that comfort zone. Go ahead on, brother. You got me on fire now.
I hear you go. I know I want to pass that shit. So like you said, now I gotta go somewhere. Like I'm gonna tell you the story I was telling you about. I want to get in computers, and I remember when I finally got to that place. I'm working on switches. I'm there. I see where I'm going. Okay. I'm doing what it takes, and I got a phone call. I'm making more money. I make the money that I said. If I made this much, I'm gonna tell you how you limit yourself. I say, oh, I want to make this much. Oh man, I'm working overtime. I get all the overtime I want. I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Oh man, then I get extra overtime if I want to work Saturdays and Sundays, and then it's all the perfect perks. And I get a phone call. Hey, buddy, what's up, man? Where you at? I'm at work. What you want, bro? Oh man, I'm just calling, man. Hey, I want to tell you they hired at my job. What? I got a job there. Don't you got two jobs? Well, yeah, I got a part-time job too. Doing it. Man, you work too much, man. I'm saying, wait, wait. Hey, I'm good, John. I'm good, Dustin. Yeah, I know you're good, man. But they hired them, and I can put my word. They looking for diversity. I can get you in there, man. I said, doing what? Oh man, construction. Working with the home builder. Dude, I don't know nothing about no houses. What are you talking about, man? Look, I said, man, how much do they pay, man? How you, man, you got a wonderful smile, man. You smile, I'm telling you, you're going to love you, man. You do, you're talking around people who love you. And this is what he said to me. I said, man, I got a job. I said, what the job? Man, you come in Monday through Friday, same way. And, you pretty much make your own schedule. You don't have a clock in. You start telling me that. I said, well, how much do they pay? At the time, I'm sorry, he's like he said it. Oh, they started off about $50,000. Get you about a $25,000 bonus. And I said, what? I said, you get a what bonus? Gotta give you a gas card, company gas card. They give you this. They thought you get your cell phone. He started saying all these things. And when he got done, he said, yeah. He said, yeah, man, send me your resume. I said, man, I already sent that to you, man. Well, you sure you but I'm at the point I'm saying to you, remember I told you I wanted to work in the computers. I want to get an office job. I want to get that. Now, what if I told them no?
Wow.
What if I said no? Now, it wouldn't, again, the money and all that was good, but what I walked into and I realized, I tell my wife, I used to always say, man, why do I got to clock in? I don't like clocking in, being at a certain time. I want to make my own schedule, make my own. Now, listen what I just said. I want to make my own schedule and do my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked into that job and I remember the manager saying, you your own boss.
Wow.
You
Hey,
manage.
bro, put a pin in it right there because that's so important. We just talked about how your subconscious mind go to work for you.
Yeah.
That's proof in the pudding right there. It go and could start working unknown to you and connecting all these dots. I mean, it's amazing. But go ahead on, my brother. That's an amazing story.
But I just want to say it started way back then. Now, again, I told you I have all these opportunities that were coming before that. All these opportunities was coming to me before that happened, but I kept skipping over. And what it was, because I didn't believe. What it was all the failures that I make, and what people told me who I was and who I was fighting, all that. Now, I got a can-do attitude, but I was the person that everything got to be burning around me for me to move, for me to say, okay, now I'm ready. I'm going to show up. My grandmother used to tell, like, say, Keith, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the point to finish. Okay, I'm about to finish strong. That was my thing. I started wrong, but I'm going to finish. That was it. So I tell my kids, so what if you start strong? So let me say this right now. I didn't know that you could start. Now I say it. What if I start? This worked for me. So when I start working at this company, and I start working and start going into the houses, and I start meeting these different people, and I start seeing people that started strong, that made a plan and started right and said, hey, I'm going to do this. So how did you get this? Well, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go this. And it worked. Yeah, along the way, I made this and made these mistakes, but I had my goals. Oh, then I meet somebody else. They said the thing, it worked. Yeah. Years go by, I meet this one family. This lady had 8 kids. Her and her husband, the first lady had, her and her husband, he worked for airlines, been there for years, but they had a perfect attitude. The house was big, but they were just so happy. And I went upstairs to a media room, and the 8 kids, they had pictures of all their accomplishments. Of the 8 kids, all 8 kids went to college. All 8 kids played a major sport, or they did dance, or they did tennis. They did all of them. She had them all on the wall showing their accomplishments.
Mm.
And I'm sitting up and saying, how is all your kids did well? All of them. I'm just sitting there. She's so proud. She's showing it. And at that moment for me, it was like, hold up. I don't have to accidentally do nothing. I can believe this and then achieve and find out how to do this. He's showing me it's possible. So now I got to believe it. See, now that small thinking, impossible for it. Once I seen it, it was impossible for me to think small. See, that's the difference in the environment now. Now I'm in a whole nother environment. I'm in a whole nother lane. Again, this started way back talking about I ain't doing this warehouse stuff no more, man. I'm going to work in computer. And on that, when I pushed forward that, it started me on a whole nother journey. The journey I started working hard, working at it, doing, and I started meeting other people that want to do it. Even in school, I started meeting people that said, hey man, you can do this and do that. And I'm like, oh, how much? Hey, I didn't even know how much it make, what position. Hey man, you need to get this type of degree, you need to go do this. I'm taking classes. Along the way, like you said, I was being guided, it seemed like, because I made a decision. And I started searching. I start saying, hold on. Let me start reading something. Let me start seeing. Let me start adding value to my. Let me start seeing. Oh. And I'm going to tell you one time, Troy, now, I remember when I started my job, the construction, and this guy had plaques all on his wall. And he was getting customer relation manager of the year. And I'm looking at these plaques. Now, Troy, now, I never wanted to win nothing. I never, strived to do nothing. But I saw that plaque. I say, man, I want one of them. Now, I'm a grown man. I'm in my 40s. I'm sitting up here saying, man, this dude got 5 or 6 awards all over. He got it presented. And I'm sitting up saying, I ain't got no award for nothing. I ain't got no award.
Y'all catch it. That subconscious mind going to work now. Y'all catch it.
And so it's working along the journey. Now, see, this is the part right here. I want the award. Okay. I'm looking at him. Okay. I'm thinking, okay, I can get that. And along the way, I worked there 5 years. I never got it. Now, I won it 1 year, but whatever didn't happen. But one day I saw this guy, the one that won the award. It was a bad moment. Now, all these good times he had, but this moment he went off. I'm talking about on a VP, went off. I'm talking about should have been fired. In that moment, I seen why he had the awards. I seen how much value he brought. What he did to have that. They couldn't even fire him, was so valuable.
Mm.
And I'm thinking I'm gonna get something what he got on the wall. I'm just thinking, I just show up. I'm gonna get the award. I'm seeing him day in, day out. And I realized
when the curtain was pulled back, you saw what it took.
I saw what it took. So all this journey I have, I'm telling you, me and Straw, I always talk about, man, be aware of the journey, enjoy the journey, look around, open your eyes.
Enjoy the
process. Try to be aware, try to be present in the journey, but we get so wrapped up and so grounded and moving and trying to get somewhere. We got our strategy, we got our paper, we write it down, and we missing all this around us. We missing all these other things, and we so stick to this, stick to that. No, along the journey, and I start moving and now I get to sit here. My son is 21, and I can guide him and say, "Hey, hold up, Dad, how much you gonna get paid? Stop worrying about that tree, man. Look at the forest. Look around, son. We're not worrying about that. Look at where you at. Look around. Look what's happening. Stop worrying about the small thing. Look at the big picture. You at the table. You at the
That's right.
table.
That's right.
That's what you need to look at. See, you about to mess up. You at the table. So I'm saying that journey took me now. I can be a mentor, like I said, me extraordinary. We come on here and say, hey, you ain't got to make the mistakes we made.
That's right.
Hey, you can start strong and finish strong.
That's right. That's
It's a
right.
better way. But that person that you are, like we just said, the beliefs, the behaviors that you have will not.
That's right. That old person can't go where you going. It cannot.
It will not. And that, and I tell extraordinary, you can say, I'm an introvert. I used to get on him about that. What do that mean? I used to say that, and I know Vince, he says that.
Yeah. Some people say they want to own it.
They want to own it. You don't have to own it. See,
You don't have
to all the time. Let me say it.
That ain't nothing right.
I'm saying we want to own that, and see, that can be the thing that limited you from going to that next level, saying that out loud to yourself. He just said the word, the power of the term, the words. He said
right.
it. You don't have to say, like Charnel said all the time, a tree can be an apple tree can only be an apple tree. A pear tree can only be but we are human beings.
That's right.
We decide what we want to be.
That's
we decide who we want to be. Anytime you can make a decision and say, hey, this is who I want to be.
That's right.
Don't be of this world. This world try to say this is who you are. No, that ain't who I am. That's who I was.
And that's right. And that's what I often tell myself, because learning how the mind operates. So I started telling the mind, that's who I used to be. That's true. See, I'm not lying. That's who I used to be. So now that's not who I am today.
Yeah.
And even when you fall back, world premier word on the street community, even when you slip and fall back, that still doesn't mean that's who you are. That's who you were.
Yeah.
That's life.
That's life.
Even when the weatherman say it's gonna rain and it don't rain and shine, and then he say it's gonna be sunny, it's not sunny, it's storming. You know, but it still doesn't make it untrue. He's still the weatherman. He's still a meteorologist, and you're still. Fletcher said it so perfectly. It's a process. This journey is a process. It's not a destination. No, we don't arrive. We're like that ivory plant. We just continue to grow.
Say that again, short now. We don't. I like what you.
Oh man, talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
I didn't say that elegantly. I like that. That's what I was saying. It's just it ain't no destination. It ain't no point place. It's not.
Yes.
Just keep getting. You keep it like the Most High said, "I'm gonna bless you more abundantly." You keep getting growing. You keep getting better. You keep going to another level. And then, like you said, so basically, I'm gonna say what people do. You know, me and Charnel said it's the best. We get the Most High a bad name, man. We give everything on God. God won't do this. Let me say this to you.
Oh my goodness.
Stewardship. God ain't gonna give you nothing if you can't manage what you got right there. If you ain't managing, because that's what you manage your life, you manage your thing. If you can't manage what you have, how you think you're gonna go to the next level? See that word how? It keep coming up. How do I get better? Yeah. How do I become a better manager of my life, of my time, of my focus? How do I become a better person? How do I become better at what I do. So I, even being better, not, let me say, how I become better not doing the wrong things I did. How do I stop? Be better saying
Yeah,
no to those things.
right.
How do
You
I,
can't, yeah, you can't continue holding on to that. Let it go.
I remember I told this lady when I first, this years ago, I was doing customer service, and the lady told me extraordinary, I kept failing. They would have, check the calls, and I kept failing. And the lady came, I said, man, I said, hey, y'all against me, man.
Hmm.
y'all try to, hey, this ain't no way I failed every call. You know what I'm saying? So the lady said, ain't nobody against you. You did fail every call. He said, it's how you talk. I said, look, I can't change how I talk. This is how I talk. This is who I am. You hear that right there, what I can't do.
Yeah, right. That was the limitation right there. You said it with your own mouth.
But see, that was not just a limitation, that was a belief.
Right.
So when I start believing, guess what I start doing? Behaving.
Exactly.
So let me show you this. The switch like this, just a turn of the knob. She said, we're going to meet and we're going to go over every call. And I want you to listen to every call. And I'm gonna sit there with you, and we're gonna do it. And then we're not gonna do it. We're gonna do it on your time. We ain't doing it on my time, on the time. And I remember we'd sit there, and I would hear my call, and she would go over there. So, and I said, oh, every time she say, so how would you say? See, you don't have no empathy. You don't have this. You don't have that. Do you understand what empathy means? Do you understand how somebody listen to you call? And you just start saying,
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
you
Oh, I
don't
love
care.
her. Oh, she
That ain't
was.
my problem. Yeah, I heard what you said. Oh, that neck. Okay, no, none of that. So let's hold on. Okay, now, how you just say that better? If that was you on that line and you somebody, so now I start turning the dial. Okay, I should have said it. Now, listen to the tone of your voice. Take that bass out your voice. A little softer. Say that. I'm talking about every call she went over and taught me how to speak. I'm saying day after day after day until eventually I kept passing every call. Every call. But I told myself that I couldn't change. I told myself that's who I was. Until somebody came in and said no. And I'm gonna say this to you, extraordinary. That right there again. That training right there propelled me, had me ready for the job that I had, because I had to go speak to people. I had to walk in the house and have empathy. I had to walk in the house and have understanding. I had to send emails, and in that email I had to make them feel that I was the journey. All this was just being traced. So when I say everything is included, the good, the bad, the ugly. But again, how do you see it? Are you aware of the
Yes.
opportunity? Are you?
And
Yeah, go ahead.
and and that call, everything that you've gone through, everything I've gone through, everything we go through, friends, is preparing us for the next gift that we can't see, that's waiting for you,
Yes.
that's waiting for us. That gift is there, but it's all a process, and it's all in the preparation. Friends, we're coming to the end of the show.
Now let me say one more thing.
Talk to us.
If that's true, so why don't we just dream big as hell? Why don't we just why
Ooh,
don't we just
say
dream?
that again. They might have missed that. Say that again.
Why don't we just dream big as hell? Why don't we just dream like you say? You should be your dreams should scare the hell out of you. I tell my kids that your dreams should scare the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. If I only thing I tell them that Daddy accidentally trip, falling, turning over my side, rolling all over, down the hill, up the hill, all that tripping to get me right here. So man,
Yes.
if you standing up right, and you planning, you dreaming, you for it, you know these things, you aware of the failure. The failure is okay. It's making me stronger. Like you in the gym lifting weight. I'm coming every day. I am doing curling my arms today. And I come back and do a different curl this way. I'm gonna do the single dumbbell. Then I'm gonna do the whole. I start seeing my arm grow. But when you first started out, boy, the muscle was hurting. It was hurting so bad you couldn't move your arm. Man, it's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's life. Keep working that muscle. Keep working that muscle. But when you have a plan, you start getting stronger, you start building habits. Now you start building habits, the right habits. Now you start being focused. Now you become responsible. You start being responsible for things.
Mm-hmm.
Now you start seeing these things. Now you start planning. Now you start strategizing to get those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Start
That's
planning.
that's the process.
Process.
That's the process.
That's all in there.
That's the process.
But it start with
Friend, now go right ahead.
strong belief and understanding, believing. How do I get it? Then what? Believe it. Believe I deserve better. Believe I'm put on this earth for more than just this purpose, more than just things. What is the purpose of belief?
I tell you, my brother. I tell you, my brother. I just love it, brother, when you come on fired up like this because you've been you've been really blessed with the skill with the talent and the skill to communicate from a personal level that really connect to where ordinary people live where they are, and I enjoy it, and I know that our community enjoy it as well. Now the thing is to take that fire that Fletcher just expressed so well and to apply it, friends. Apply it. It's not a secret. He just exposed the process. He just told you it's possible for you. He said it worked for him. And look, and Fletcher be the first to tell you, he told you his history. He wasn't the most sought after, likable person growing up in the community
At all.
at all. And the universe found a way to conspire and work in his behalf. Now, if the universe are working and that personality behalf from a child, it'll do it for you and for me.
It did it for you. It's doing it for you. You just not being aware of
And
it.
you don't even see it. What they call it, the blind truth, huh?
That's true. You know,
Boy, that's a title too, the blind truth. That's a good place, man. We really gonna stop.
yeah,
Fletcher
we,
YouTube
we do this
channel.
all night. You know, we can do this all night.
You
You
can do this all night. You
know?
have a YouTube channel called The Blind Truth. Y'all need to check it out, friends. And of course, check out Personal Development for the Soul. That's my YouTube channel. Friends, we enjoyed it. This has been a blast. You all got to share this segment with somebody who you know need to hear this conversation. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets. We've enjoyed every moment being with y'all. Look forward to coming back next Thursday. Fletcher, you get the last word, brother, with the small that fire.
Man, I deal with, you know what I'm saying, man, Shorty, I deal with 4 pillars: spiritual health, physical health, mental health, and financial. And that spiritual, man, I tell you, be, do, have. The Most High said, be fruitful, do multiply, have dominion. That be valuable, become valuable. You know what I'm saying? To multiply what you have, manage what you have. Manage what you have, and then you get moved to the next to have dominion on it. That's it, man. But you gotta become valuable, but you gotta believe. Believe in yourself. Sit down, man, and think, how do I get myself out of this? What do I need? Who I need to become? Thinking, patiently, working, daily, every day. That's the blessing. When the Most High woke you up today to be, do, and have. Be better, do better, and have better. Thank y'all.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again, same time, same place, right here on world premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.